Hi, my name is Jean-Francois Drolet. I am Professor of Politics and International Relations at Queen Mary University of London. Welcome to the video abstract for my new article entitled Populist Realism, Civilizationalism and the Right on the Intellectual History of Contemporary US Foreign Policy. This has just been published in the Review of International Studies. Now, the article seeks to improve our understanding of the ideological foundations and the intellectual history of the right-wing turn in American foreign policy as pursued by the Trump administration and its MAGA entourage. It focuses specifically on the long-time contribution of the paleoconservatives. Paleoconservatism as a movement emerged during the mid-1980s under the leadership of writers and politicians such as Paul Gottfried, Thomas Fleming, Sam Francis, and Pat Buchanan, who ran for president in 1992, 1996, and again in 2000. The paleo prefix in this context served as a claim to represent a more historical and philosophically authentic conservative tradition threatened by the modernizing influence of neoconservatism since the 1970s. And so the article contributes to the existing literature in three main ways. The first section analyzed the America First agenda that paleoconservatives developed during the 1990s in their effort to counter the influence of neoconservatives and other foreign policy internationalists. It shows how this agenda laid the basis for a nationalist, populist form of political realism, which is different from the Atlanticist realism that was articulated by other Cold War liberals in previous decades. This paleoconservative project for a new American century prefigured and paved the way for key aspects of the Trump administration's own America First foreign policy vision, including its plans to re-hemisphere US foreign policy and its threats to annex Greenland and absorb Canada into the United States. The second section examines paleoconservative interventions in conservative debates over Sam Huntington's Clash of Civilization thesis during the 1990s and the 2000s. It demonstrates that although paleoconservative and Huntingtonian discourses express similar anxieties about civilizational clashes allegedly threatening the West, they diverge in their interpretation of these clashes and in the prescriptions that followed. These debates were largely overlooked in the political mainstream at the time, but they provide valuable insights into the civilizational politics of the Trump administration and the contemporary American right more broadly. The article then concludes with an analysis of the main conceptual features and implications of these paleo-Trumpian continuities. I argue that if there ever was a paleo-conservative moment in American foreign policy, when this is it. But far from marking a return to realist restraint, as its protagonists often argue, this America First configuration channels a volatile mode of cultural geopolitics that transcends the conventional distinction between isolationism and internationalism, and which is highly unlikely to reverse the erosion of America's global power. So this is a study that sheds light on some of the important origins of Trumpism and the transformations of the American right and US foreign policy over the past decade. It will appeal to scholars interested in ideas, intellectual history, US foreign policy, and changing narratives of world order. I hope you'll enjoy it, and thanks for watching.